Let's go Lions. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Happy Sunday night. Happy classic watch-along day. I decided that we're going to stick with WCW. We did Starrcade to close out 2024, and I thought we would open 2025 with another WCW show. It's a little early in the month, and we've done a ton of Rumbles already, so this will buy us a little time before we figure out which one to do next. And we did talk about Sold Out 98, I think last week or the week before. A couple of you brought it up, and it is Bret Hart's first match in WCW after showing up there after the screw job. So I thought this would be a fun one to watch, and I do have the game in mind tonight. Detroit and Minnesota, whole ball of wax here for home field and all that stuff. I wanted to kind of pay attention to that game and eyeball it, hang out with you guys. And Royal Rumbles are kind of hard to watch and divide your attention with, especially with somebody coming in every 2 minutes. So I elected to do Sold Out 1998, and I thought we would collectively decide together which Royal Rumble to do next week. As I was looking through the ones that we've done all the good ones. 1989, as We Are Pro Wrestling pointed out, still needs to be done. And one thing I noticed that I kind of didn't realize is that, correct me if I'm wrong, we technically have not done 2001. I watched the Royal Rumble match 2001 in my old apartment like 5 years ago in my early days of trying to figure out how to do watch-alongs. And that wasn't set up very well. It wasn't even live, I don't think. So we could watch Royal Rumble 2001. I cannot believe I never did that one on top of the watch-along that we did. And I have another idea as well for Royal Rumble video-related ideas for the month of January. But next week we might do like 1989 or 2001. We haven't done 2004. We have done 05. 05 is another weird one. I just came up and watched the match, so we haven't done the whole pay-per-view of 05. But maybe 06 or 07 could be done. Maybe even 08 at Madison Square Garden. We could look at some of those for next week. But tonight, we're sticking with WCW. Happy Sunday to you. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, so if you are keeping your attention focused on the game, I understand. If you're from Minnesota or Detroit, you might not be watching with us tonight, but I am a Lions fan, and I've got the game on. I can just glance right over and look at the score all night. That way, if Lions are getting their asses kicked, I can just watch Sold Out instead, cover my bases, you know what I mean? But hopefully you guys are having a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us yesterday for the podcast. And tomorrow night, we're going to be here as well, watching the first Raw on Netflix together. The link is already up for that, by the way, so save that for tomorrow. We'll be here doing it again. But tonight, it's classic watch-along day as they kick off. Wow, Ford Field looks awesome. Yeah, I'm really hoping that Detroit has some things to cheer about this year. That would be great to bring a championship to Motown. But anyway, let's do some quick hellos here before we get going. You guys know what to do. Go on over to your Peacock. Find WCW, find the Sold Out pay-per-views. You want to look for Season 2, Episode 1, Sold Out 1998. The runtime, according to Peacock, is 2 hours, 43 minutes, and 31 seconds. As soon as we hit play together, that timer right there will begin to run. That way, if you experience ads or interruptions or you have to go take a crap or something, you can come back, sync your timer up to Peacock, and continue following along, and everything will work out just dandy. Now, we will do some shout-outs as you guys get your Sold Outs pulled up. Good to see Doug Unfunny, Always Radio VHS, Mike Rouse, Zane G, what's up, man? Maybe we're hanging at Revolution together, not sure yet. Just Smitty, Brandon McNeil, Tatanani in the house as well. George Morris, always good to see you, my friend. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? How is Tito? And Elizabeth, Sold Out, 98, 5 out of 10. How about Royal Rumble 06, 07, 08? We are running out. 06, 07, or 08. I could do those. The Rey Mysterio one, I don't know. It wasn't even the main event that year, I don't think, 2006. 07 was cool, I think, because it was Shawn and Taker, right? And 08 was cool because it had the return of John Cena. So we could do one of those. But yeah, we are running out of Rumbles to do. And I did have another idea about the Royal Rumble for a watch-along. I just have to put it together. We might do like multiple Rumble matches instead of one full pay-per-view. So maybe I'll pick like my top 3 favorite Rumbles and we'll watch all 3. Or maybe watch the top 2, 01 and 1992 back-to-back. We could do something like that. So I've been thinking about maybe something like that for a watch-along as we get closer to this year's Royal Rumble. So just keep a lookout for that. Garrett Osborne, good to see you. We are pro wrestling, man. It's Lions, man. It's got to be Lions. Is that a WrestleMania 15 logo on your page there? Colin Wright, always happy to see you. Jay Lambo in the house. Ray Frand. We have Michael Cuomo. I'm sorry, I got you already. The Juliet 316 DJG. Ryan Adams, you are her. You are here. All right, you are pulling double duty. I wasn't sure if we would see you tonight. And like I said last week, Ryan, if you guys win, I will root for you to bring a championship home to the NFC North. It's been a while. But if not, you got to do the same for me. All right, you guys are on the road. Didn't we beat you already? So I guess you guys will own the tiebreaker because you have the best record if you win. And if we win, we have the best record and we beat you twice. So go Lions. Go WCW sold out. I think it's time to start this PPV. So let's get our fingers on the triggers here. Mike Games version 1. Good to see you as well. I don't think I hit you. Ben Espinoza is here. Nice. It's a custom made channel logo based on WrestleMania 15, celebrating 15 years of the channel this year. Well, we are twinsies because I myself am celebrating 15 years on the channel coming up in April. So cool. Twinning, as always, me and We Are Pro Wrestling. Barry MK, good to see you. Greetings from the islands. Kurt Angle and Mark Henry. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? I think I looked at, Barry, I looked at the Wikipedia card for that Rumble. And I noticed that that Angle and Mark Henry was the main event. And I'm like, what the fuck is that about? So it's because Undertaker lights the ring on fire. All right, cool. That's hilarious. Yeah, Just Smitty, hopefully Netflix doesn't have streaming issues tomorrow like they did with Tyson and Jake Paul. Yeah, let's hope not. But I think there was a hell of a lot more people watching Tyson and Paul than will be watching Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Plus, I feel like streaming and Netflix has their act together. Max went perfectly for AEW the other night, so hopefully Raw will not have any problems because this show is way too big to fuck up. Fingers crossed. All right, let's get going here on WCW Sold Out. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, play. That's how we do it here. I just got to line up my fingers for my timer. All right, there we go. All right, I am locked and loaded. Y'all ready? Here we go. WCW Sold Out 98, playing now. 3, 2, 1, play. All right. I ordered this pay-per-view in 98 because I wanted to see Bret Hart's first match in WCW. Wanted to see what it would look like. And he was facing Flair, the guy who he beat for his first championship. So I laid down my money to WCW after I was a very confused wrestling fan in January of 98. I didn't know where my alliances were going to go. Do I stay with WWE? Do I follow Bret? What the fuck do I do? I was a confused young man back then. I was struggling. Also, this is the pay-per-view where Giant gets injured, right? I mean, Giant had already been in and out of the NWO. Now, the first Sold Out the previous year was like NWO's own pay-per-view, right? I never ordered that show. Oh, man, they're in Dayton. Are they in the Nutter Center? No, that does not look like the Nutter Center. I was like, that would be wild, huh? Literally sold out. Looks like a small building. This looks like an AEW Dynamite show right here. Let's check the attendance for Sold Out 98. Oh, I thought Tony Schiavone said so many assholes around the world are watching. He said so many households. Attendance for Sold Out 1998, 5,486. That's AEW numbers right there. 5,000 fans for this 1998 PPV. For all you AEW obsessed shit boys who whack off to attendance figures, whack off to that one. I love Dusty's hat. I want that hat. It's a toss-up between Bret Hart and Ric Flair. Even in 98, Hart would have whooped Flair. Look at those names. Sting, Hogan, Flair, Bret. Now, when does Dusty join the NWO? I kind of thought he was already in the NWO by now. That must be coming up real soon. Is it tonight? His shit's all buttoned up. Dusty shirt is all buttoned up to the top, baby. It's almost as if he might have a black t-shirt under there. I know he turns and reveals an NWO shirt, right? I don't remember when that is or what show that is. But we're already into 1998 and it hasn't happened yet. Which means it's got to be happening soon. It might be tonight, baby. If it is, don't spoil it for me. Yeah, I mean, it is a sellout, you know? So they definitely sold out. It's a small arena. That's why I would like to see AEW just run 4,000-seat arenas so they can sell it out and say it was sold out. But I mean, I think if WCW thought they could draw 20K for this, they'd stick it in a 20K arena. I have nothing against small buildings, but at all. But it's funny, you know, how fans will really harp on like attendance figures, and I'm like, you know, it's not, attendance today is not that off from what it was back in the day, in the heyday of the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. You look at WCW, WWE's numbers now to then, it's not far off, man. And a lot of WCW's pay-per-views, a lot of WCW pay-per-views were pulling well under 10,000 people, which is right around where AEW sits right now. I don't know what they had for World's End, 7 or 8, something like that. This is an interesting opener here. This is to me, a proper opening. So this looks like it's, that's El Dandy, right? So we got El Dandy, Silver King, La Parka, is that Lizmark? And then we got Chavo on the other side. I wasn't paying attention to the intro, so I missed all of that. Looks like Chavo, Juventud, Super Calo, Jerry Callo. And Psychosis is in there, too. Yeah, the bigger guy, Silver Mask, is Lizmark, right? Lizmark Jr.? All right, this is Jerry Callo and Psychosis. Me and my roommate got a huge kick out of Super Calo because we were big fans, both of us. J-Dog, if you're watching, what's up, buddy? We were big fans of the movie My Cousin Vinny. Remember Jerry Gallo and Jerry Callo? So we would see Super Callo's name and just immediately think of Jerry Callo. So we always called him Jerry Callo. I'm not Jerry Gallo. I'm Jerry Callo. There's a sign that says Lucha Libre Wrestling translation bathroom break. Imagine the womanless dork that made that sign. I wish I could get his name and address and go knock on his door right now. I'm like, oh, what, you live alone? Not surprised. Really interesting opener. You don't normally see this from WCW on their pay-per-views. Big 8-man lucha opener. It's more something you'd see now. How did Dusty lose all his money at this time? I don't remember. I think he invested in Crystal Pepsi. Lost it all. Yeah, Barry, no shit. That's what I realized when I started searching for my WrestleMania trip the other night. I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be the cost of a car. I knew it was going to be expensive because it was expensive last time I went, but I wasn't expecting that. So I'm like, I'm going to save my money. I'm not going. I am not going to drop 20 G's. I'd rather sit right here, privacy, cushiony seat of my own home. All you guys hanging out. Look at Silver King go. Silver King, I believe, passed away recently. I think it was in the last year or two, right? Look at El Dandy's got a sweet-ass dropkick. I don't know why Bret was throwing shade at this guy. He's fucking awesome. El Dandy looks exactly like somebody from El Paso, too. When I was a kid, my friend moved to El Paso, my childhood friend, and within a couple of years was fluent in Spanish. I thought the same thing would happen to me by coming here to San Diego, but I'm not so fluent. Ruben Anthony, what's up, dude? Thanks for the 5. January pay-per-views for WCW were cursed. 97, awful trash show, Giant's neck, crowned Benoit a day before he'd leave with the Radicals and Sid's leg. Yeah, I kind of forgot about 97 sold out. I don't even remember what the main event for that was. Was that the show that had the Eddie and Waltman ladder match? That might have been it, but other than that, I don't remember what else is on sold out from the previous year. Juventud? I love La Parka. Boom. Hoovy. Damn, got head scissored by a jabroni named Juventud. Okay, it was Giant and Hogan in 97? No shit, okay. So Hogan obviously won that, right? Wow. Wow, that springboard by Lismark. Jesus. Man, that was awesome. Lismark is tremendous. And he's got size. I mean, he's not your typical luchador. He's over 6 feet. God, these rolling cradles are just so crisp. Super Callow. Jeez. God, I want to go punch that stupid fan in the face so hard with that dumb sign. Wow, spinning powerbomb. Airplane spin powerbomb. Jesus. I really like Silver King and El Dandy both. There's like stocky guys that just are so light on their feet. They're just short and stocky, but man, they can move. Jerry Kello in with the save. Do I think we get Austin tomorrow? I don't really need him, to be honest. There's enough going on. I don't want tomorrow to be a parade of legends. We don't need that. If Austin's doing something at Mania, working a program with somebody, fuck yeah, bring him in. But just for him to come out and wave, he can do that anytime. Oh. No, there's too many people. Yeah, that you're not going to get a 3 count in. on that. All right, so is it kickoff time? All right, here it is, kickoff. The Vikings are kicking off. These new kickoff rules are wild. I don't even understand. Damn. Oh, yeah, Rock will be there tomorrow night. He's kind of confirmed that. I feel like WWE feels like he's going to be involved in WrestleMania, but just the fact that they're sitting and waiting for him to decide what he wants to do is so annoying. Makes The Rock really, like, undesirable to me. Like, I don't run him around if he's like that. Somebody's going springboarding, I think. Yep, it's going to be Silver. Oh, my God. Silver King. Nobody home. Damn. Jesus. These are big boys. Super Colo, El Dandy, and Silver King are all big. Look at Dandy. Look at Dandy's the best. Oh, here comes Hoovy Juice. Oh. Now here comes LaParca. Nope, LaParca stopped. I'm a little miffed on the LaParca history. The one that passed away isn't this one, right? I also remember the mini La Parquita wrestled in WWE a couple times. If you ask me to teach a class on the La Parcas and the Sin Caras, I fail. Oh, nice tornado. Chavo with the win. Not a fan of your hair back in these days, Chavo, but good win. Oh, there he goes. He's knocking everybody out. God, that fan with that sign. What a dick. What shitty town is this in? Oh, Dayton. Yeah, no wonder. It's like, bitch, you live in Ohio. Go suck a butt. Go, LaParca. Yeah, LaParca 2 is one that passed away. Yeah, nail Charles Robinson with a chair. It'll do him some good. Look at Del Danny's dive here. My favorite of the match. Look at that. Damn. Air Hoovy. Yeah, he looks like, remember Nicholas Turturro at WrestleMania 11? He's got hair like that, Chavo. That was he stuck him with that DDT. I love those WCW ring mats, man. They had such loud echoes to them. The bumps sounded terrific. And everybody you ever talk to or hear from in shoot interviews and podcasts and stuff, they always talk about WWE's ring being the harder ring, but it seems hard to believe the way that WCW mat looked and sounded. WWE's, at least on TV, the bumps sounded kind of muffled, where on WCW and ECW, they were sharp, crisp gunshots, like bam. Where WWE's had more of it just didn't have that pop to it, All right, Lions are punting. I didn't miss if that was a 3-and-out or not. Looks like it probably was. Boston Brawl. History begins. Internet exclusive. $7.99 Boston Brawl. I don't even remember what that was. I didn't have the internet yet. I was still like a year away from getting a computer. I think it was like late 98 or early 99. I bought a computer, plugged it in my apartment, downloaded Napster, and started downloading music. And then Napster died, and I had to go to LimeWire. I'm surprised I wonder if either company has these archived, these hotline reports. Like that WWE Vault channel, that would be a fun thing to release. Like a bunch of these Mean Gene WCW hotline reports. I wonder if there was any way to preserve that audio. The Bowery. What's a Bowery? I don't even know what a Bowery is. I've never been in a Bowery. Oh, there's a Benoit sign there. So is this Raven and Benoit? And there's Van Hammer. Sick Boy. Sick Boy always looked a little like Bart Gunn or Randy Orton to me. Yeah, back when I first got the computer, it was dial-up, and then I got broadband, I think, a little bit after that. And then in 2001, I relocated cities, and they had, like, Time Warner Roadrunner, and then I had, like, high speed. But for the first, like, 2 years of my internet surfing, it was just shit like that. Yeah, you got like 9 guys with you. Get out of there. Get the flock out. I forgot Scotty Riggs was a part of this, and a young Billy Kidman. But, like, look at Sick Boy. Like, whatever happened, who was he and where did he go? I didn't know who he was before he got to WCW, and I never knew where he went after. I possess a lot of useless wrestling knowledge. The life and career of Sick Boy is knowledge I don't possess. Society wants you to conform to its rules. Oh, he's that's where the Bowery is? Okay, I thought like a Bowery was like in the bunk basement of a house or something. I thought like there was like lots of Boweries. I didn't know there was just one Bowery. All right. I thought Bowery was like a boiler room or something. All right. 47 years old. Learned a new word. This is my favorite Benoit theme. Love this one. I remember when I got a clean edit download of this, I was like thrilled. Because it was hard to get wrestling themes back in the day, like before YouTube and internet. And now if like Roman Reigns debuts a new theme, it's on YouTube in an hour. You know, where back in the day, you know, it was much harder to get your hands on this stuff. I remember in like 1998 getting a bunch of the 80s themes from WWE, like all clean, no bullshit, like Rougeau Brothers and Beverly Brothers and Bushwhackers and Texas Tornado and all those guys, themes that you could not get back then. But I had connections, you know. I'm curious if Benoit and Raven had any run-ins in ECW or WCW prior to this. Because Benoit might have passed through WCW when Raven was there as Scotty Flamingo. I don't remember. And then Benoit was also in ECW for a quick spell, wasn't he? Or was that Dean and Eddie and not Benoit? I thought Benoit went through there too, though. Benoit definitely was in ECW. Yeah, he was, because I remember his promos. Yeah, he was there. So maybe I can't remember if did Raven and Benoit have any matches there? I don't remember. Yes, Mike Witt. I'm with you, man. Go Lions. Thanks for the $2. Damn. Don't let him loose because he can get on your bad. I love Dusty Rhodes. God. I mean, this is not a horrible card for this show. I know we got Jericho and Rey on this, right? Might even be a... Oh, nice snapmare on the chair. One of the reasons why I picked the show, too, is I know that Rick Martell has a match on this. Because he was in WCW for a short time there in 97 before he got hurt again. I think he held the TV title. And I loved seeing him on Nitro. It was one of the... It made me smile. I was not a fan of WCW back then. You know, the Tribal Wars, I was Team WWE. But I still watched WCW and still did enjoy some of what they did. And one of my favorite things was them bringing in Rick Martell. Yeah, well, this is a Ravens Rules match, so whatever. All right, so Raven would have been in WWE by then. Johnny poloing it up. I know Benoit had a dark match in WWE around like 95. Or maybe a house show match. He had some tryouts. Ultimately went to WCW, which bummed me out. Because I remember when he showed up in WCW, I remember seeing or hearing that he was working some live events for WWE. I started getting excited. I'm like, oh, they could really use someone like him. And then in WCW, like there was a scene where he like pulls up into a car, like in front of the Turner in Atlanta somewhere, and he's like, WCW, where the big boys play. And I'm like, fuck! I was really hoping WWE would land him. They would eventually. Yeah, I remember that, Ruben. Benoit was rumored to be Owen's partner at WrestleMania 11. That would have been awesome. But I don't know if a 1995 WrestleMania WWE audience would really know or react to Benoit, you know? Yoko probably, honestly, got the bigger response. Or would have gotten the bigger response. From Cage Match, Benoit had a house show match against Scotty Flamingo in early 1993. So that must have been WCW. That's cool. I don't know if this was Rick Martell's final match. I just remember him there in 1997. So this is early 98, so he might be finishing up. I think he got injured again or something. And had to retire. Look out, here comes Benoit going flying. Baseball slide. Like, both guys worked in WCW, ECW, and WWE. And both guys were in some of those companies more than once. And they didn't really cross paths. They didn't do anything in WWE, right? We didn't get any Raven Benoit matches there. Probably not, but Raven running. Okay, so he's about to be done. So it was Super Brawl, so probably next month, right? Yeah. Oh, you were at that Unforgiven where he showed up? I was at the previous two Unforgivens. And you were there for Raven's debut. No, Mike, we have not. Thanks for the 5. We have not done the first 1988 Royal Rumble or 1989, both of which are available on Peacock. But the problem with both of those shows is the undercards suck. There's nothing going on. So it's just like, maybe what we'll do, and instead of watching those pay-per-views, we'll watch the 2 Rumbles. We'll watch 88 and 89 back-to-back or something. That might be more fun than watching the whole pay-per-view and then the other whole pay-per-view. I think we might do that with 92 and 2001 also. Instead of rewatching the entire pay-per-view, we'll watch both Rumbles. Oh. Oh. Stomp. Oh, is he going to headbutt? Oh, no. He stomped Raven's head with the chair on it. Now he's going to try to headbutt him with the chair? Oh. Damn, Benoit. Oh, my God. This is going to be like a double count. Are they both knocked out? Benoit looks like he has a legit black eye right there. I don't know if he does. They're chanting Benoit. Oh, he is going to roll over. Is he going to get to him? Pin him. Nope. I thought that was really going to be the finish. Like they were just both going to be counted out. Yeah, we've watched the Royal Rumble, and if you are a Patreon or supporter or channel member, I've got my reaction to that show with the footage. It's on Patreon, and if you're a channel member, you should be able to find it in members-only posts. Just search through it. It's up there. And you can watch me watch it. Nope. Another 8 count. That's a second 8 count. Nice. Oh. He's right in the middle, too. You got to tap out, Raven. I do not want Raven to counter out of this. He's got to tap. Tap. Or pass out, one or the other. Or is he smiling? He likes it. He's probably going to laugh. He's going to smile and pass out. There's nothing in that head, baby. Raven passes out. Benoit wins. Here comes Kidman. Oh, there's Dean Malenko. Neutralizing Kidman. Yeah, what was there? Oh, is this some Horseman shit? Yeah, so they're acting like Dean Malenko is a surprise showing up here. Look at Raven. He's like planking. Malenko takes out Sick Boy. I mean, I know by the time we get later in the year, both of these guys are going to be in the Horsemen, so I don't know if this is the beginning of that or what. He's like, what do you say in 2 years we go to WWE? Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, that headbutt. Smiling. He's nuts. He's gone. He's never had a better set. Are we sure? Man, there's a user on Twitter who 5 hours ago posted the entire Kenny Omega and Gabe Kidd match, and it is still up. It's like New Japan hasn't bombed his house or nothing. It is still up, all 42 minutes of it. If you want to know where it is, it's a Twitter account at It's Strike ZZ. ITSSTRIKEZZ. He's got the entire match up. Kenny Omega taking on Gabe Kidd. And yes, Gabe Kidd is the cousin of 1-2-3. Most people know that. I just want to make sure that you guys did. So Jericho's wearing a Mysterio mask. A very youthful-looking Jericho. This was 26 years ago. Both of these men are still active, as well as the referee. Think about that. We're watching a 26-year-old match where both wrestlers have TV matches this week, and the referee does too. And the ring announcer follows me on Twitter. Wow. What else can you ask for? Yeah, San Diego. Shout out to San Diego. Nothing still on Detroit, Minnesota. 3 minutes left in the first. My mom saw the Darby Allin reaction, and she was like, "You watching your pajamas?" I'm like, "Yeah, those same pants. I'm wearing them right now. Those same pants in that Darby video. I'm wearing them right now. I'll buy like 4 pairs of like around the house pajama pants and wear them for a decade, and then throw them out, buy 4 more. I spend $22 every 10 years on pajama pants for the house." This fucking guy with that Lucha Libre sign. God. What's that, sir? Did you come tonight with your girlfriend? Oh, you don't have one? Okay, I just wasn't sure. This is freaky to watch just a young Jericho and Rey. These guys are both old farts now. Rey still much more capable than Jericho, but both old. DDP yoga and stem cell treatment kept them in the game. God, how crazy. It would be another year and 8 months for us to get Jericho in WWE. 6-0 or 7-0 after we kick this extra point. Lions up. Punch that through. Motown, baby. I kind of wish I lived in Detroit a little bit right now because I would definitely go to the game. I don't like the cold weather, but I still miss kind of the vibe of living up there, you know? Oh yeah, damn! I didn't even pay attention to Jericho when he came out. Did they have his Walls of Jericho song? It didn't even register to think about if they dubbed over Even Flow. Thanks for whoever pointed that out. Normally I go nuts about the network edits, but we were talking about other things. Sounds like a lot of you, Brandon McNeil, We Are Pro Wrestling, Ruben, Garrett, are y'all on my side? We're all rooting for the Lions, right? I feel like the world will be rooting for the Lions unless you happen to be playing against a specific team. That city's fans won't be rooting for the Lions. I mean, I think if it's Lions and Chiefs, the entire country is going to be pro-Lions, and then that little tiny pocket there in Kansas City is going to be pro-Chiefs. It's like we got all the momentum, man. We got the fans on our side. We're over. We're over like Punk. That's good, We Are Pro. You're a diehard Lions fan. I'm just a Lions fan. I try not to be diehard because for a while there, I was giving up on them, and that made football very easy to watch because I am loyal. I'm not diehard, but I'm loyal. So I'm loyal to the Detroit teams. So if they suck, I don't go find another team to cheer for so I can be a winner. You know, I'm loyal to my teams. So I'm not a bandwagon jumper. So when the Lions suck, I don't give a rat's ass about them. But when they're good, I got their back, man. Same thing with the Red Wings. I was such a big Red Wings and Pistons fan, but now both teams are ass. So as soon as they get good again, I'll start caring again. But I'm always going to support them first above everybody else, you know? And so for most of my whole life, I've been able to enjoy a fun NFL season, exciting games and shit like that without having to stress about my team winning or losing. And that's why, the same reason why I retired from fantasy football. Oh, what a nice stun gun there, inverted. I quit fantasy football for the same reason. I don't want to watch football stressed out that my guy needs to get 10 receiving yards or something like that for me to win. I don't want to watch with that hanging over my head. I want to watch for entertainment, for enjoyment. And so I was like, why am I doing fantasy? That's not fun. It's stressful. Oh, double underhook backbreaker. What's cool about Rey is when you're wrestling him, all of his opponents can do so much shit to him because it's like wrestling a child. I mean, Rey had to have been a $140? How heavy can he be here? I'm 175. You know, I feel like I got 30 pounds on Rey. Still have my Megatron jersey from the 0-16 season? Well, then you are definitely a diehard. You know, in Step Brothers, when the beginning, when they're at the pageant and they start singing Brendan has a mangina, and Mary Steenburgen, she's like, eventually I joined in as well. I'm like her. I love my son. I love my team. But, you know, if the jokes on 0-16 are flying and they're funny, I'll laugh at them. Even in 1998, early 1998, Rey's got one of them knee braces on. That's just crazy. Him and Shawn both. It was funny. Him and Shawn kind of both went later in their WWE career. Or actually, when Rey came in, he was already doing it. And then Shawn would do it a little bit after that. They went to like the longer style of wrestling gear, like not tights or trunks, but like, you know, more like bell bottom type of stuff so it could hide his knee brace. Oof. I mean, watching an early young Jericho and Rey battle on a late 90s WCW pay-per-view for the Cruiserweight title, that's like, that embodies what WCW was at this time, that what WWE did not give me as a fan. And that's why I might have been Team WWE, but it was hard for me to be a fan and sit here and pretend that this was no good. That's what AEW fans do to themselves, or AEW haters do to themselves. You know, I'm like, yeah, some things they do suck, but some of it doesn't. And you can't just pretend it all sucks. And I might not have been a fan of WCW, but I was thoroughly entertained by these cruiserweight matches. And I loved Rey, I loved Eddie, loved Jericho, loved Benoit, Malenko, all those guys. All the Mexican guys we saw in the first match even, you know, like El Dandy and Hoovy and Psychosis and Silver King and Jerry Calo. My God. I really enjoyed that part of WCW because it was a style of wrestling that I was not accustomed to routinely seeing at that age and at that time. And that was appealing for even the, you know, even the biggest tribal fans. Yeah, Lions, we going to Sizzler and the playoffs. Oh my God, I thought that was a botch. He came down with the walls of Jericho, and he's tapping, boom. Oh my God, I thought he was going to kind of come down like pile drive Styles Clash him on the mat and murder Rey, but instead he went right into the walls of Jericho. Yeah. And they are playing his Walls of Jericho theme. And Jericho wins the Cruiserweight title from Rey. Now help me out, We Are Pro Wrestling or whoever else. Has Rey held the title ever since he beat Eddie? Because he beat Eddie for the title at Halloween Havoc, right? 97? So has he traded the belt or hot potatoed it, or did it go straight from him to Jericho? You like me. You really, really like me. Is this when he's starting to go heel, right? Greenberg. Don't boo me. Don't you boo me. I love that line. That's where it came from, sold out. Don't you boo me. Hey, Jericho, you asshole. Will somebody run in here? Jesus. Are they writing Rey off? Is this an injury angle? Well, I guess it can't be much of an injury angle if he just wrestled a competitive match, but still. Maybe he needs another procedure done. You got your Y2J jersey? I had the first Jericho shirt, the Jerichoholic shirt from WWF. When he went to WWE, the first shirt he came out with. Oh no. Is Rey's feet they're doing something here to write him off. It's a television steel box. Oh. It's just a production crate, Bobby Heenan. I got one right under my desk here that all my baseball cards are in because I'm starting a baseball card business. It's the same thing. It would hurt if it hit you, but it's not a steel TV. It's a steel TV. TVs aren't even made out of steel. Not even back then. Poor Rey. Ah. Doesn't look good for Rey. Yeah, it doesn't. If you're being carted off the field like freshly killed game. All right, Detroit's got the ball up 7-0. Second quarter. Come on, let's fucking blow these bitches out. Sorry, Ryan. Blow these nice young players out. I will say I got a little bit into the Vikings story that year they had Brett Favre and they almost went all the way. I did kind of like that. Because back then I wasn't fully aware of what a gigantic, humongously horrible piece of fucking shit Brett Favre is. Wasn't really aware of it back then. So I was, I was kind of inspired by it. Is the belt vacant? Oh, yeah, I guess it is, huh? After Starrcade? JoJo Dillon, tell us about it. Refresh my memory of what's going on here. I know the belt being vacated has something to do with Sting and Hogan's weird finish. $1998 is a new year. Mike Tyson's about to come into WWE. Fourth down. That's right. I remember now. Where is Dom, Mike? Dom might have been born this year. How old is Dom? 27?
Make every effort to come up with a decision concerning the championship that would be fair to all parties involved. And we went outside the executive committee to consult with other influential people in the profession to help us make the right decision.
Well, tell us what it is.
The people that I did talk to
JoJo
was none other than Roddy Piper, because he was the interim commissioner, did an outstanding job. He was probably as instrumental as anyone.
I forgot Roddy was an interim commissioner. Who's been a commissioner in WWE and WCW? Nobody. I guess Bischoff, maybe. Okay, so we're going to parade Piper out here? Is he going to give us some insight? Do they do something at Super Brawl? I know the history of this. Does, like, Sting win the belt back at Super Brawl and then lose it back to Hogan? I forgot what the fuck happened. Let's look it up. Yeah, Sting beats Hogan at the next pay-per-view for the vacant title. I wonder how long he holds it for. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so then Randy Savage beats Sting for it in April then. Okay, Hogan doesn't get it back till April. But he gets it back on Nitro. I guess against Savage the day after he wins it. So Savage held it for 1 day. Look at these fucking runs. 11 days, 1 day, 8 days, 50 days, 20 days, 15 days, 13 days, 1 day. God damn.
First of all, when things get rough, J.J. Dillon here, which I respect a lot, kind of makes me the independent counsel. And I was the man that made the match Starrcade, Hogan against Sting, and all of a sudden we got a big conundrum, a big mess with this match. And I feel responsible, and it's time tonight to make some decisions about this match.
Gene and Piper in WCW was hard for me to wrap my head around back then. Like, this feels so wrong, you know? Oh, yeah, that was all just happening back then, 98. Imagine getting your dick sucked in the White House would be the worst thing you could do. I want to live back in that world again.
You've got Sting. He's hanging around all the time, dropping in when he wants to. Doesn't say nothing. Year and a half. I heard him burp one time.
I heard him burp one time. I'm going to get an 805. I'll be right back.
Scott Hall back there. Scott Hall has a legitimate beef. I got Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff stirring everything up, yapping on TV all the time. Last time I saw him out like that, had a hook in it. Need to shut him up. So I heard Hogan say that. I heard Hogan say on TV last week, I think it was Thunder, spare the rod, spoil the child. Tonight, we will not be sparing the rod.
Sparing the rod?
I would like to have Sting.
You need to caress the rod. All right, here comes Sting. Damn, Dom was less than a year old. Little tiny-ass Dom. Probably getting all the bitches in the daycare center. They're all wanting to play doctor with him. You know it's that way. Fox Star, thanks for the 5. Finally home and all synced up for the show. Not gonna lie, it's weird to have everything but Raw on Peacock while Raw slowly comes to Netflix. I know. I miss the WWE Network, don't you? All those $9.99 jokes, you know? You don't miss what you have until it's gone. And that was much easier, but WWE saw a much bigger business, and by the time they were able to execute their long-term, long-time plan of having their own network, it was an obsolete concept. Now it's about farming your shit out and selling the rights to your stuff. That's where the money is. And so it's probably never going to make things any easier. I would love a one-stop shop, but I don't think we'll ever get that with wrestling. And here comes Hogan. So Hogan's on the show for, oh no, it's Scott Hall. That's right, Scott Hall won, oh no, Hogan's there. Scott Hall won World War III, right? So he's supposed to get a title shot too, baby. The biggest icon in wrestling. All right, well, I only like one person in this picture. Hogan and Bischoff can go fuck their own asses. But Scott Hall, you're the man. Mike Witt, better commissioner, Roddy Piper or Jack Tunney? I'm going Tunney. Tunney's my childhood. I liked the way the commissioner was back then because whenever, the cool thing about Jack Tunney is that in modern times, seeing a commissioner means nothing. You know, if the commissioner comes to the ring, nobody's going to be like, oh my God, what's he going to say? Because Aldous and Pierce and Bischoff and Teddy Long and all them guys were in the ring all the fucking time. Back in the day, you saw Jack Tunney on TV. Something's going down. Something major is going down. And so there was a certain feeling you would get when you would see Tunney that you know we're going to get an announcement or something big. So there's just a feeling he gave you when he appeared that you don't get with the modern authority figures. No trouble?
First of all, Mr. Scott Hall. Mr. Scott Hall is the winner of World War III.
Mr. Scott Hall, the man whose place I took at WrestleMania 12.
Hang on, I'm going to explain this. Will all make sense to you, please? Just give me a chance. He has worked his heart out. He deserves a shot at the heavyweight championship of the world. This will all make sense to you in a second. Wait, hang on.
Hang on, everybody.
I want you to understand I respect what you've done, and I believe you are the #1 contender, and you should get the first shot at the heavyweight champion of the world. You only got one problem. We don't have a heavyweight champion of the world. So you couldn't get a title shot at the DMV right now. So you're just going to have to take a sidestep.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Take a sidestep, Scotty.
Yeah, okay, hang on, Mr. Dillon.
Mr. Dillon, may I have this beautiful big belt? Did they fix the side plate on that, or is it still hanging off? Remember it was broken for like 3 years?
All right.
Is it still broke over here?
We have
Like, none of y'all got a screw back there? Screwdriver?
Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. 3 times world champion. Mr. 1, 2, 3 Hollywood Hogan. A guy that has a legitimate beef in his mind. He said he got a quit count and that he deserves.
Hogan, Piper is a better actor than you.
And I understand that.
So is The Rock. So is Batista. So is Cena. So is Edge. So is Triple H. So is The Undertaker.
Nobody can deny your track record. So I think it is my job.
So is David Arquette.
No, he's not going to do this.
What? Okay, there's no way not was still something we were saying in 1998, was it? I thought that was like 1993. I thought not was 1993. Aren't we 5 years too late for not? Piper, did people believe you were going to put that around his waist? Eddie Munster. He called Bischoff Eddie Munster. Sting's like, fuck you, dude. Bischoff, I just want you to know if you're watching, you look really gay here, which is perfectly fine. I will fight for your right for equality. I support you. I'm just saying, you come off that way. You're also looking a little woke. Yeah, the hairstyle, that's woke, man. It's a woke haircut. And Scott Hall's walking away. Would you like a Bud Light, Eric, perhaps, to calm your nerves? There's rainbows on those.
Super Bowl, you fight all right, that's the way it is. You said it yourself. Tradition bites. Baby, it's just bit you in the bum.
Yeah, bit you in the bum, baby. Bischoff going, I don't know, man. That was a great delivery. Okay, Bischoff, I think you're a fucking prick, even today, but that was good. I don't know, man.
Yes, and I will see you at Super Bowl. I will bring the championship belt to the ring. And once again,
Sting does it. The bodysuit on Sting was just so hard. Was so hard to get used to.
Around the world, across America, big announcement at Super Bowl. Sting and Hollywood Hulk Hogan for the undisputed WCW heavyweight title of the world. Tony, back to you. And that will be on the 22nd of February.
It's too bad that Sting didn't spend that 18 months in the rafters, like, working out like crazy, and he came back just super jacked.
who is the real world heavyweight champion? It'll be settled in one night at Super Bowl.
Oh, nice, Chris. That's awesome to see. Appreciate the $10. Thanks for plugging my YouTube channel yesterday. Absolutely. If you guys can access Chris's channel from here, you got good discussion. I'm glad that you're doing that. You'll only get better, and you'll only probably enjoy doing it more the more people come over and give you feedback. So that's awesome. To you, when did WCW truly stop being competition? To me, it's when Russo came in. To me, it was when I'd say, in my mind, I felt summer of '98. Even when Goldberg still won the title, I felt it was just too late for them. I mean, even though that was a great moment for them, here comes Rick Martell, I felt like it was over. There was just no stopping the WWE train by that point. There was no slowing it down. WCW might have some moments of greatness, but they're not going up against somebody who doesn't have their act together. That was why AEW really became good in those first few years, is because, number one, they were putting on good quality product, but also WWE sucked. And when WWE got their act together, you stopped caring about AEW as much. And the same thing back then. And WCW was just doing better shit than WWE. But when WWE started getting good, and they're both being good, WWE was doing it better. And then the little bit of interest that fans did have in WCW kind of went away when Austin and Brock and all those guys got over. But WCW was still doing numbers. They had huge fan base. But to me, there was never going to be a question again of who the number one promotion was going to be by the time we got to the summer of '98. To me, it was over. I was like, yep, they're off. They're to the moon now. You ain't slowing them down. And they didn't get slowed down. I think they lost 1 or 2 weeks here or there to them and the ratings. Goldberg's win, the Horseman's return in 98, but most of the time I think it was WWE just smacking them around. This match I'm looking forward to. This is Booker T. Ow, fuck. This is Booker T versus Rick Martell for the TNT title. I just clapped my hands and I cut the shit out of my hand at work the other night. I'm still healing and that hurt like hell. And look at the shape Ricky Martell is in here too. He wasn't at all washed up.
All of us know Martell quite well, but he has come into WCW with his Quebec crab.
It's a Quebec crab. This is a very cool match, though. You know, Rick Martell and Booker T would be 2 wrestlers that I wouldn't think would ever cross paths, you know? But here we are on pay-per-view for a championship. And referee Billy Silverman, who I'm pretty sure was also in WWE. I think he reffed both companies, if I remember right. Fox Star Killer, thanks for the 5. Yep, Hall won World War III and got his title shot at Uncensored. Then would snark about being still owed. Said title shot on February's Nitro. Okay. Yeah, you're kind of... Wow, 2 years later. That's funny. Oh, I missed it. They stopped him on 4th down? Oh, shit. Did Lions get a safety? Or did Vikings get a safety? Is that what I'm watching right now? Am I watching a safety? An intentional grounding safety or something? No, that's not a safety. Okay. How is that not a safety? That replay I just watched. All right, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 1 for Detroit on the move, 7-0, and they stopped him on 1st down.
We talked about great champions. We have a lot of great champions in this arena tonight. Still to come, 2 of the greatest ever. Ric Flair, Bret the Hitman Hart will go one-on-one. Former world champ Lex Luger against Macho Man Randy Savage. Talking about
Martell still looks very good.
you understand what we're talking about. That's all still to come tonight.
Martell was a very smooth type of worker, but he had some... He had some fancy footwork at times, though. And he had endurance. Former AWA world champion. He was one of the guys. He was a wrestler that the first wrestlers I became familiar with, like as a kid, because I've told the story a million times how my first couple of years introduction to wrestling was 90% magazines, just like piles and piles of magazines, and I would just go through them. And a lot of those visuals stuck with me. And I remember Rick Martell a lot. And I remember when he won the AWA title and seeing photos of that. I remember him as a kid in WWE with Tony Gurria. And a lot of that was just like magazines. So he was one of the first guys I was like familiar with. I think that's why I just liked him through his whole career. Even when he was the model, I just liked him. He was funny to me. Loved Strikeforce. Oh. I don't remember. Did Martell ever hold that TV title? I mean, obviously he's got a shot here. But if he doesn't win here, I can't remember if he was TV champion. I thought he was. Oh, shit. Minnesota's red zoning. Oh, almost interception. Oh, wow.
Did he get him good with that kick? Reverse kick in the jaw, cover, and maybe Booker T celebrated a second too long that time. He got a 2 count, and he immediately covered the man. Maybe champ right now. Looks like he's getting a little frustrated here. He thought a couple of those moves would have taken Martell out. Martell still got some fight left. Yeah, but he went right back to what he was doing right here, trying to break him down, get that arm in a situation where you get it hurt.
I mean, this really is finesse versus finesse. I mean, Booker T looks like the more straightforward ass-kicking wrestler, but they're both extremely smooth, light on their feet. Booker's incredibly limber.
In our very first spectacular of 1998, it sold out. Martell in the WCW, he said to us he had been working out harder, dieting harder than ever before, and he looks better than ever. Right now, Booker T is up to the task in this TV title bout. He's wearing him down slowly, and he's going back. The original hold, he's starting to wear him down with. Exactly, and I've been saying.
I mean, if Booker T was a single brother, and he did not have Stevie Ray, he was a single brother, a single child, and he didn't have another brother, is what I was trying to say, a single brother. He's a single child, and he was in wrestling. I don't know how Vince McMahon would not want to do major things with him. I think Harlem Heat almost like kind of held him down. Like, he's just so big, and he's got such size, and he's got a body which Vince would love. Like, imagine if Booker T was a singles wrestler, pushed as a main event singles wrestler in WWE from, like, in this time period, starting in, like, 95, 94. The roster needed him.
Rick Martell will try to whip him in again. Martell hit hard that time and goes slumping down face first to the mat.
Even like 96, 95 and 96, like having Booker there with that music, you know, and that look, I think he'd do great. Vince would be polishing the rod to this guy every night in the bathroom. Oh, shit, thank you. Like, hey, it's held him to a field goal. That's good.
During the match, Rick Martell has wrestled a fine match and has battled back from a man full of offense. As you're looking at the TV champ, Booker T right there.
Man, Lions, I really want them to win this because I just give them the best chance in the playoffs, you know? Like, they're going to be at home the whole time, right? The only time they're essentially going to be on the road is if they miss or if they make the Super Bowl.
There's a right hand, Booker T, high impact blows. Martell holds his ground nicely. Picks him up. Spine buster. The Arn Anderson spine buster. Covers. Yes. Wow, that was close. You know what? There's been there's glimpses.
Hey, where is the Super Bowl this year? I don't even know. I know it's the week after the Rumble, right? But I don't know the venue.
So much impact on the lower back. He has a double axe handle, two of them on the back, and now puts the back against the top turnbuckle as he lays the knees into the midsection. So Martell right now working on the back of Booker T. Getting him ready for that Quebec grab. That's exactly what he's doing. Just like Rick Martell.
You don't hear much from Martell either. He's got a Facebook account that I think is run by a friend. I've interacted with it a little bit. But, like, he doesn't have a podcast. He's not always running his mouth. He doesn't have 10,000 fucking opinions about the business every day for everybody to vomit out to us. You know, he just minds his business, lives his life. You know, he's just... I love guys like him. Tito is the same way. Not you, Tito.
Thank you, Dr. Heenan, for that.
The neck bone is connected to the cheekbone. Thank you. You got your ubulus here connected to your upper dorsimus. It's boring, but it's part of my life. I don't know if you heard me counting. I did over 1,000. Oh, so deep. Oh, the burn is so deep.
How much more Booker T has, but he just showed us a glimpse of what he has left here. Rick Martell with a great game plan that's been...
All right, Lions, why don't you just run this kickoff back in, put 7 more on the board for me. I don't get the kickoff. I don't even know what the rules are. You got to stand still until it lands, and then you can run? What's the rules? Whatever it is, it looks idiotic. I don't want to learn the rule. Oh, she rolls in New Orleans. Okay. That's fitting. Daniel Bryan, the underdog, the ultimate underdog, winning at WrestleMania 30. Detroit Lions get the yes chance going in New Orleans. Oh, my God. Booker T gets to the ropes in the Quebec crab. Martell thinks he's won.
Martell is not one, even though he's celebrating here. And Billy Silverman informing Martell that, hey, the man was in the ropes. He's getting frustrated.
They should have done a. I know it doesn't exist. It probably doesn't. But Martell's short run in WCW, I would have done a match with him and Scott Hall, because that was the finals of the Intercontinental Championship deal when Shawn vacated the title.
He's gonna, well, didn't make a cover after the scissor kick now. Picking up Martell, pick up. And now Booker T says he's gonna raise the roof.
He's going to raise the roof.
Could be the Harlem Hangover. That's the signal for up.
God, that Harlem Hangover just is so dangerous. I don't even think he hit any of that, but he won. Yeah, Booker T takes down Martell. No big surprise there. It's one of my favorite wrestling championships. Like I said, it's hanging back there on the wall. I've got the television championship. Oh, Martell took the belt. This should be my belt. That don't belong to you now. And does he raise his hand? Is he going to try to deck him?
Let his temper get the better of him for a moment and shake hands with Booker T. It's good to see that.
Is that really happening? This is not like a swerve. Martell's not going to kick him? Nice. I like that, though. Martell was like initially frustrated, grabbed the belt, and then just thought about it for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm better than this. And he's getting attacked. Saturn. So Saturn has attacked Rick Martell. I don't know why. I have no recollection of these two. Stooge, you look weird with hair. Perry. What's your name? Perry. It is? Good. It's just always just nice to see a Rick Martell pay-per-view match. That's my happy place, you know? What that Harlem, or whatever this shit is, the spin kick, he hit nothing. He landed on the mat nowhere near a mile and a half away from Martell and then pinned him for the win. 4th and inches for Detroit. Are they going for this? They are. Their coach is the type of guy that would go for this. Just don't fuck it up, man. Mike, I don't think I got that $5 from you earlier. Hey, now I remember going to theater opening night to see No Holds Barred. Terrible movie. I was at the theater to see No Holds Barred. I saw it in a matinee. My mom dropped me off with my sister who went with me, who would have only been 8. I would have been 13 or something. And we went. She dropped us off. I went and watched No Holds Barred by myself with her. Making sure I get all these supers answered. Foxstar Killer got 10 from you. Thanks, man. This pay-per-view is actually the second to last time the Monday Night Wars that the WCW pay-per-view took place, second after the WWF pay-per-view a month that wasn't October, November, and December. Okay. Second to last time during the Monday Night Wars that the WCW pay-per-view took place second. Oh, okay. So this is actually the second to last time. Yeah, I didn't think about that really before. Which pay-per-view came first? I feel like you'd be at a better advantage if you came first. And both companies were not only trying to stay away from each other and not book pay-per-views on the same Sunday, but yeah, trying to logistically get in there earlier. Interesting. That's a stat I've never really thought about, but is really important when you think about it. That's interesting. Thanks, Fox Story. Oh! Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. This is Scott Hall and Larry Zbyszko. And I had mentioned, yeah, I knew it. I knew we had to be here. I said this in the beginning of the show. I'm like, I know Dusty joins the NWO at some point. I don't know when. But it's 1998 and he's at the announce booth. It's got to be coming up soon. And then I look at his shirt. It's buttoned to the top. And I'm like, that's usually when there's a black shirt underneath. And this must be where it happens. Unless I'm wrong. But he's leaning hard into it. I should have seen the signs. He's got that yellow WCW hat reminding us which side he's on, right? This is definitely it. Yeah, I think Dusty Rhodes is going to turn here. Oh, wow, and I didn't realize that Scott Hall has Spicoli with him. I know that, dude. Oh, Zbyszko. Hey, Larry, are you playing a game of human chess? That was his go-to line. And this goes back. This is interesting because these guys have AWA history. So we're going back 13 years probably with these two. They were both in the Wrestle Rock Rumble video. Please look that up if you've never seen it. And tell me that that ain't a little slice of heaven. Fuck, they got the stop. Jesus Christ. They got the ball now, don't they? Yep, they do. Damn, Detroit. Come on, man. Ugh. Now, I can't remember. This is the... Crazy seeing Zbyszko in the ring, but this is the only time him and Hall had this pay-per-view match. They didn't do... Was there a tag match? Didn't we watch something? Or is this... Because I know they had like a little mini thing here. Didn't something happen at War Games? I'm not nearly as sharp on my WCW history because I only vaguely remember it, where WWE I sharply remember it. Oh, yeah, you got 5 other ones. 5 more, Mike. Sorry, I missed that one. I was done with WCW when they completely buried the Horsemen. NWO always made them look like a joke. I officially switched to WWE then. That did bother a lot of fans. And NWO seemed to get some perverse enjoyment out of it, too, you know, with all the Horsemen history and legacy in NWA and WCW. Shitting on it like that didn't rub many fans well. Holy shit, Colin Wright. I did not realize this is so close to Spicoli's actual death. So he's just a few weeks away from passing away. That's crazy. That's so unfortunate. He got caught up in that 90s-ness of pro wrestling. And it was a dangerous place to be a wrestler in the 90s. Especially if you were already kind of a spicy figure to begin with, and then you're entering that world. You're going to find nothing but trouble there. There's very few Rick Martells, Tito Santanas, and Owen Harts. There's a lot more Louis Spicolis, Scott Halls, Jake the Snakes. You know, there's a lot more of them back then.
a good neighborhood to be in. Ooh, wow.
Spicoli nailing Zbyszko. Radford. Who's coming? Somebody's coming. Oh, Dusty. And going after Spicoli. Louis Spicoli was once a body Donna in training before ECW got a hold of him and made him not a joke. Well, that was after ECW had him, excuse me. Radford. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, February 15th. That's my sister's birthday. In my family, my niece's birthday is the 10th, my mom's is the 12th, my sister's is the 15th, and Elizabeth's is less than a week after that, so the 19th. So there's a lot going on in February. A lot of people being born and shit. Larry sucks chant. Is that what I'm hearing? Larry sucks. Dayton does not like Larry. There's a bunch of hooligans living in Dayton anyway. I worked for a chef back in the mid-2000s. Started working with him in 2001. And he was from Ohio, and he has a crazy brother. And he was telling me stories about his brother, and he goes, my brother, he's straight Dayton. He goes, we were drinking in Dayton one night. We left a bar. It's me and my wife and him and his wife. We leave, and it was a costume party. So I forgot what he was dressed up as, and he had some white shirt on. As they're walking out of the bar, two guys come up from behind, and all they do is say, hey, Romeo. And his brother just turns right around with no hesitation and just blasts the guy's head off with a punch and just knocks him clean off, like unconscious twitching on the ground. And he goes, my brother does not fucking play games. And I'm like, was the guy trying to start a fight? And he goes, we don't know. He just turned around and just blasted him. And he goes, he's straight Dayton. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Dayton. I'm scared of Dayton, if that's what goes on there. But he told the story like it was a funny, humorous story. And maybe it might have been if that dude was actually trying to start shit. But if he was just being funny, then, you know, he got annihilated for no reason. As Zbyszko makes his comeback in the middle of a good mic work anecdote. Look at Zbyszko. I never liked him. I never liked Zbyszko. Even as a kid. Living legend my ass. It was like, plus trying to be like a Bruno type of rep, trying to follow in footsteps like that, you know? I think patterning yourself after a Bruno isn't going to work as well as, say, patterning yourself after a superstar Billy Graham. Oh, in terms of like marketability and whatnot, he spin kicked Mickey J in the small of the back. And now there's nobody there. Man, Zbyszko better not win this. Oh, I know he's not going to, because I know what's going to happen. I'm not certain, but I'm almost certain. I got my eye on you, Dream. It's Possum. He's playing Possum. Do possums really do that? What's he doing? Oh, he looks like he's trying to... Oh, here we go. Watch Dusty. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Dusty's, he's got the bionic... Okay, well, he's taking out NWO members. Look at Spicoli gets to... Wow, just weeks before his death. He gets to take bionic elbows from Dusty on a pay-per-view. He's got the black shirt under there. Boom, there we go. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, they're trying to make it look like he moved. He's going to, come on, tear the shirt off. Show it to us. Yeah. We know. We knew. I ordered the pay-per-view this night. I could tell what was happening. We've seen enough of these to be able to sniff these out, too. And Dusty joins the NWO. I mean, you can even point to stuff like this. I mean, they were still kicking WWE's ass. You know, Tyson hadn't come in yet. He was about to, or he just did, one or the other. But it's just like when everybody's joining, and then they're joining and unjoining. You know, the fact that Sting joined and became a Wolfpack Sting, you know, later on here in the year is just so stupid. And I'm like, did you guys not, were you not paying attention to the story you were just telling? Your own story? What, well, even in a pro wrestling world, this is a stretch for Sting to want to join. After all of that, you know? So I feel like it was starting to tread into stale territory where WWE's treading into fresh territory. And that's when the pendulum swung, you know? Fight this, WCW. I'm in the NWO now. I'm fine with Dusty joining the NWO. What the fuck do I care? Good for you, Dusty. You got opportunities to make some money there, you join them. Plus, they're really cool. You go out on a fucking town with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. You ain't going home alone. You can make little Codys all over the place with a bunch of women. And Larry wins. Fuck you, Larry. I'm glad you got your ass kicked, dick. Mike Witt, thanks for the $2. Did Dusty just take any did Dusty take any bumps after this? I don't. I think he might have. That little spin kick to the referee is so terrible looking. I'm reminded why I didn't like Zbyszko. Larry sucks. The crowd is just being ruthless. Larry grabs him here. He's pinning himself. I mean, Dusty still took out Spigoli. Lost his glasses, too. Ryan Adams, thanks for the 2. Nearly $17K for Raw tomorrow. Minnesota just put 3 more on the board, I think. There's still time for me to go, but I've already got my shit ready for tomorrow. My watch-along's prepped and ready, so I'm not going to drive up there. But I'm interested to see that Intuit Dome at some point because it's a nice-looking facility. I loved this NWO theme. The B theme was not a bad theme. I always think of it when I see Scott Norton, Masa Chono. It's so good. Buff Bagwell, I hated you. Conan, I was okay with you. Virgil, you're a dumbass. Oh, God, Buff. I did like the NWO shirt. I had one. I sent off for it. Mailed away a check, a paper check. That, of course, then would have to wait to clear my account before they'd even send it off. The whole process was a pain in the ass. But I bought one, and I wore it around. In public. Steiner's with, look at Bubba in his leather. I feel like Ray Traylor was just directionless, you know? I mean, he came back to WCW in 93, and he had like 10 different looks. Scott Norton's gear reminds me of Doggy Style, the album, Snoop's first album. But Traylor, man, I feel it makes me sad to see him like this. And he's about to be gone because later on in the year, he's going to show up under a helmet and join Vince McMahon's corporation. He'll be wrestling at Survivor Series by the time we get to that. And we're in January now. It's crazy seeing him here knowing that he's leaving and he's going to go to WWE.
Hey, fans, I've been doing this thing for 13 years, and
Oh yeah, the announcers are still selling Dusty's turn. I just can't believe this. Oh good, Detroit put up a field goal, 10-6 halftime, right on. I missed everything good. I missed every score. Come on, Detroit, got to win this game. Look, I love Tony. Okay, we gotta get Mike Tenay out here. This is a very, very serious situation. It's not a serious situation. It's a fucking wrestling angle. Happens all the time. Chill out. How many times have you guys had to be shocked that somebody joined the NWO? It's been like they just keep repeating the same trick over and over. The whole NWO was founded on that very angle taking place. Hogan joining the NWO and shocking the world by turning. That's just what Dusty did, just what Scott Steiner is about to do, right? Isn't it the next month that he turns? In the beginning of Big Papa Dumbass begins. Our kids play together. They can still play together, Tony. Our kids play together. Well, Cody's got to be like 12 or 13 by this point. Maybe older. He's got to be older than that. No, he's probably 13. Do you have play dates when you're 13? Shh. Rick Steiner. He spit in the face of tradition, Dusty. He just disappointed us. He flushed WCW down the toilet. God, they're being so dramatic. Bunch of drama queens on commentary. Oh my God. Get over yourselves. So, what is Super Brawl? Oh, yeah, that's where he turns. And to me, Rick Steiner, or Scott Steiner, was looking so strange by now anyway. He was just so beefy. Just super beefy. And his hair was looking all weird. I feel like the rent for this building was super cheap. It doesn't look like a super nice facility there in Dayton. Why didn't they run the Nutter Center? Bret would have loved to work that arena. I love Scott Norton.
When he hits you, it doesn't matter how big you are, it rocks.
You know what? I know I've asked this question before. Is Scott Norton alive or dead? I always liked him. He was a guy you would see a lot on Saturday night. Because back in the day, growing up, Saturday night was the A show. And then it really fell by the wayside once Nitro became a thing. But Norton would work a lot of Saturday nights. I miss Saturday night wrestling. And we have it now, but I miss the way it was. I miss the feeling it gave you in the summertime. Knowing that you have so many days off ahead of you. And it's a Saturday afternoon. It's still 90 fucking degrees outside. It's 6:05. Ugh, great times. Dad's got the barbecue fired up. I don't have to think about school for, another 12 weeks. Great times. Good. Still alive. That's what I like to hear. 66 years old for Norton. The announcers are still struggling to stay focused with the shock that they've all just endured. Because people selling out and joining the NWO is totally not a normal thing in the company. That doesn't happen all the time. It's so rare.
Very good. Good. All right, Buff Bagwell with a right cross, and now Scott Norton in there into the ropes.
Scott Norton and Ray Traylor. What a match. Those guys should have gotten a program. They're literally on the same spot on the card, I think, both of them. Same exact spot. Traylor had a little bit bigger of a spot maybe when he first came in, but... They'll use you. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot Traylor was in the NWO, too, and they booted him out. Why are they kind of teasing breakup stuff here with Scott? Like, he hasn't been tagged in yet. Is he because he's volatile? He looks weird like that with that hairdo, doesn't he? And the mustache. He looks like, Dan Severn went on a diet of three straight years of just like anabolic steroid Slurpees. Maybe he'd look like that. Okay, so whoever this post-game or in-game crew is, I think Jason Garrett there. The woman. Don't know who she is, but I'm a fan. Know who was in the other night? I got a chance to talk to a little bit. David Justice, former baseball player. He actually comes in a lot, and the reason he comes to us is because there's nowhere else in town that he likes. And so he's there quite often, and I forgot what the point is. I had a point. He said something funny. What was it? Oh, yeah, and he had somebody with him, and I was like, I swear this guy is Ron Gant from the Braves back in the day. Just looked just like him to me. And, but I didn't want to, ask, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? And then when they wound up paying, I went over and said, hey, let me get a look at the credit card. And I looked at the name, and I didn't recognize the name. So I guess it was just a friend, but I thought it was Ron Gant. And I'm like, I still have his baseball cards.
They make the tag now. I don't know when knee goes with Snyder, and I think Conan moved him out of the corner. He's wrestling a good match here tonight, Conan is.
And maybe this hesitation on the part of Rick Steiner and Ray Traylor to bring Scott Steiner into this matchup is backfiring on Team WCW.
They've lost a step, you're right. They've not been a fluid, cohesive group here tonight because of the distrust. And it's almost getting physical in the corner with Scott Steiner and Ray Traylor now. He pointed right in the face of Traylor, who slapped his finger away.
Dude, check out that sweet mullet behind Scott Steiner in the crowd. My God, that is exquisite. That guy is straight Dayton.
What's next, huh?
Let's get him in the ring.
Look at the people in the crowd. Bulldozer coming here. Tony, bulldoze our off.
You know, it's almost as if all the air has just been let out of this building.
I think the fans just don't give a shit about this match. The announcers are putting it over that the reason the fans are quiet is because they're so distraught over what Dusty Rhodes did. When really, I don't care about this match, and I didn't back then.
That's not to say disparaging remarks about these.
Yo, Angie, what's up? Good to see you. Sorry, I've been watching football and watching it snow here in Virginia. Damn, getting some snow on the East Coast. That's right, there is a big storm coming through. One thing that's changed for me in 15 years living out here in San Diego is that I kind of get out of the loop with, like, weather, because back when I lived on the East Coast, I would be watching the weather all the time. I would always be dialed into what the weather is doing, because you had to, because it changed daily. And so I would also be aware of, like, when storms hit, when hurricanes were coming, other weather events around the country. I don't watch the weather at all here. At all, because I don't have to. I look at the weather app on my phone to see what the temperature is, but other than that, it's going to be the same every day, and I never have to worry about anything. So therefore, I don't notice sometimes when there's hurricanes until it starts showing up everywhere. Like, oh, a hurricane's about to blast New Orleans again, or North Carolina, or Florida. And then I finally, like, notice it. But I used to be so dialed into weather, and you just don't need to be out here. It's a luxury. So I'm unaware of, like, when there's blizzards, and snowstorms, because, it was 65 degrees today. It's 58 right now. It's totally pleasant. But I wouldn't mind seeing some flurries. That would be fun. Enjoy the snow there, Angie. Build a snowman. Put the carrot. And make a cock with the carrot. For fun. Oh my God, I thought there was a real fight going on. Oh wow, Virgil and DiBiase. Look at what's happening. I didn't put that together until just now. That Virgil and DiBiase are on opposite sides. My brain wasn't registering that until they started fighting. And DiBiase is getting physical out there. That's the closest he's seen to a match since SummerSlam. That is so cool, Virgil and DiBiase. And DiBiase getting the better of him. DiBiase's the babyface in this situation after all that abuse. Oh! Who did that move? Was that? I think Rikishi used that as a finisher. That, like, sit down pile driver type of thing. Steiner line. It's a pose down between Bagwell and Steiner. That's right. They're gonna start forming a little friendship, right? Look at these guys talking. Oh, so they teased the shit out of him turning. It didn't come out of thin air. They're showing their muscles. Yeah, tell him, Ray Traylor. Damn, Steiner manhandling referees. Oh,
Schneider, screwdriver just about does it. We're good. We're Conan, your winner. Once again, all by himself. Scott Steiner. And look at Trailer and Rick are leaving with DiBiase without it.
Mike Rouse, 7 inches here in Kansas City. Is that flaccid? That's impressive.
Big part in wrestling history. Here's how, fans. On January 31st, live at the Fleet Center in Boston, WCWWrestling.com brings you the Boston Brawl. This ain't no tea party because
Let's get a look here at WCW's
first ever
terrific production values here.
event. The stakes are high.
This is like Windows Movie Maker type of shit.
WCW's Boston Brawl. Internet exclusive history begins here. Let's take you back now once again to David Benson. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the match.
Time for the NWO music. Giant versus Giant. Okay, that's right. There is a shitload of matches on this card. We haven't gotten to Bret and Flair yet.
And weighing 307 pounds from North Scottsdale, Arizona, one half of the WCW World Tag Team Champions.
I guess there's only 3 left. Yeah, 9 matches. It's a big card. And they got it all done in 2 hours and 43 minutes. AEW 9-match cards usually take minimum 4 hours.
Definite facts, definite sides.
And WWE doesn't have 9-match cards anymore.
$0.5 million appearance out of his own money.
One day there's going to be pay-per-views are going to be 1 match.
He's not going to lose a penny of it. He's going to make sure that Kevin Nash
We should just keep it simple. Just 1 match.
long wait for a match and
Then, now, forever.
For a matchup where we're finally going to get to see it. The Battle of the Giants, Kevin Nash and the Giant.
The Giant.
Very simple. The Giant can put his hands on Nash tonight.
did that guy have his face painted?
Yes, I said Shivani. I thought the same thing. That guy had his whole head painted Green Bay. And this is in January, and this was 97, so they were probably pretty good, right? I think they won the Super Bowl that year.
Here we go. Nash comes
Green Bay,
we've been waiting a long time.
right? I think they might have won the Super Bowl here soon. So maybe that's why that guy's all decked out. But they're in Ohio. He should be a Browns or Bengals fan.
4 inches tall, weighing 475
Or the Browns might not exist, actually. And here comes the Giant. Are you? Well, at least you're not smoking.
A very patient man
So no music for the Giant.
who did not touch Kevin Nash before this match and thus
Tito is coughing under the blanket.
safe.
You all right, bro?
Oh boy. You're talking about anticipation, fans. You got it right here. The 2 biggest men ever to collide in our sport.
Well, the people here in Dayton are standing now.
I might have to check on him.
Maintain that level of concentration over the course of the past few weeks. With
Oh, he's all right.
Nash getting in his face on so many occasions.
All right, Nash and the Giant.
In his face?
Yes, he did.
Anything
I remember when Diesel was leaving WWE. This was the first match I thought of. I'm like, well, he's going to have to wrestle the Giant over there. And the Giant is bigger.
Big time, big player, athlete.
I mean, look at Nash is huge. And this can't be their first match together.
this past Thursday at Thunder when he leveled the ring.
Oh, he just destroyed the ring.
Help me out. One-on-one, Nash and Giant. This isn't the first time. It can't be.
Things in the last 5 days I've never seen in my life. I never thought I would see it this way. And for the people that didn't see it and that they were underneath the rocker unconscious or hit by a car, the Giant reached down and pulled the ring apart. Took the turnbuckle and pulled it apart, and the ring collapsed, and the ropes were hanging like drapes. I never saw a feat of strength like that. Look at Scott Hall was in that ring, and it was like an earthquake is what it was. He could barely stand up. Now these 2 big men finally lock up.
Oh, yeah. Super Bowl 98 was the Broncos. I remember. It was rigged. I forgot why it was rigged. I kind of remember that game, though. Didn't they win Didn't they win back-to-back? When did the Packers win? 96? Or was that Steelers? Or 96 was Dallas, maybe. I don't remember. Not including house shows, this is their first one-on-one match. Huh. Wow, that's awesome. I just thought they would have at least got that match in the ring once on Nitro or something. It's crazy that it took that long. And they were briefly in the NWO together. Probably wrestled on opposite sides and tags a few times, right? But not one-on-one. This is one of the ones I would have done first. I wonder if Nash and Hall knew ahead of time going into WCW that they were going to politically rule that place. You know, like... Like, nobody really got the best of them there, you know? They knew how to play the backstage stuff better, I think, than anybody else there. They knew who to align with. They knew the shit they could put in their contracts that would, you know, essentially make them bulletproof in a lot of ways. Like, I wonder if they were having conversations about it, like when they were still in WWE, like, dude, you know we're gonna own that place, right? Like Dungeon of Doom, are you kidding me? We're gonna be the coolest ones in that locker room. Suck on that. Can't believe Bundy never went to WCW. Especially during this time. Everybody went there except for him, you know? He had a weird run. Like, why wouldn't WCW be interested in him? They were interested in... If they're interested in Virgil, why aren't you interested in Bundy? If you're interested in Beefcake, why aren't you interested in Bundy? Did Bundy not have any interest? He left WWE in like 95, right? He was gone. Ooh, big leapfrog by Nash. Hopefully I don't miss the powerbomb. Be right back.
Phenomenal test of strength by the Giant. What a feat. As Hogan, look at the concern on Hogan's face. Look at the distance between the Giant and Hogan. Hollywood. Well, if you felt the choke slam like Hogan did recently. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Oh, no. Blindsided and cheap shot him. Well, Bischoff distracted the official. Hogan with the steel chair delivered to the back of the Giant. That's why it's rougher here. Hollywood.
All right. Sorry about that. I am back. Elizabeth is leaving. I just want to say goodbye to her real quick. And I thought I could be back in time before. Bunny had interest in Heroes of Wrestling, but not WCW. I just feel like he could have gotten a contract. Is he dumb? Why didn't he? Does he not? Maybe he wasn't well liked or something. I'd never heard anybody having a problem with him. Like, why didn't he give one of these guys a call? Be like, hey, can you get me in? Give me a contract for $400 grand a year? Like, why wouldn't he do that? Maybe he invested his money well and he didn't need it. I just think that would be an easy payday for somebody like him. And it would probably be cool to see him there.
the attack again.
To the attack again.
Back of the head. Kevin Nash. I'm going to fight through this night. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you're not helping things out much here. But the Giant all of a sudden has rebounded back.
Mm.
Hello. Now, get up again, big boy.
I've heard of a big clothesline. That was a giant clothesline.
Two of the strongest, most powerful men.
Oh, double kick.
In one of the hardest hitting matches. Two of the finest athletes. This is quite a matchup. We knew we wouldn't see a lot of high-flying lucha people in
No Rock on Rondas in this match.
We also knew watching the pay-per-view here at Sold Out, we knew the intensity in all these matches, how good it was going to be, but we were shocked beyond belief.
Let's not think about it. Let's put it out. Let's get to the business at hand.
And it's not over yet.
No, it's not.
We got a lot more great wrestling here. We still got Flair, Bret Hart, Luger, Macho Man, and this is a long way from over.
And right now, as the team captain administered, a cover one, a two.
No, and Giant kicks out. How long can this match be? It can't be that long.
Oh, we don't need
We can tell Giant and Nash go out there and give us 22. No.
You know, it's amazing.
We got to do like 10 max. Shit. Shit. I missed the interception. Wow. Right, real early, too. Was that the first play? Oh, way back in the... Oh, no.
That's why these men are in the best shape of any athletes in the world.
Oh, wow. He threw a long pass, too. Oh, wow. Well, that's not good. Well, just don't let him score a touchdown. Hold him to field goal. Damn, Lions.
The Giant, oh yeah. The Giant with a massive headbutt. And again.
But Nash keeps getting up.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Big Show's kind of wrestled semi-recently in the last year or so, didn't he? I'm hoping that he doesn't do any more wrestling.
He's a big tough guy, that's why. Look at, he keeps getting up. See what you got, big man.
I feel like he should let his contract with AEW run up, and he should join WWE as like a pre-show panel guy. I don't think he should be down doing anything at the ring, not in the ring, not as a manager. Just have him as a talking head, you know.
That's an incredible feat of strength. A big scoop in the slam.
Here it goes.
Bischoff up on the ring apron.
Big Show has not gone into the WWE Hall of Fame, has he? He probably will. Hello and goodbye. Bischoff choke slammed. I hope that hurt, you little weirdo with your leather jacket. What's he got? Ooh, is that syrup? Oh, hot coffee. Hot coffee. You can see the steam. No, you can't. It's completely room temperature iced tea to the face. Okay, here we go. Oh, and he was slippery from the coffee, I bet. Right? Oh, God, that's so crazy. Ugh. I don't recall my reaction watching. I'm curious if that was... Yeah, I guess it was. That was going to be the finish anyway. They didn't have to go home early there because of the botch. The coffee spot and the power bomb was the finish. So it didn't change anything about the match, I don't think. I mean, I feel like he's generally all right. He knows he's not paralyzed or anything, but... I mean, he came right down on his head. Nash is in awe. Well, I'm hoping Nash feels a little concerned here.
Don't look good. Well, so Starcade, it was WCW all the way. Momentum.
Why are you covering his eyes?
Tonight, what has happened to
Oh, from the coffee. Oh, yeah. So that's what they were going to do anyway. They were going to cover his eyes from the hot coffee in his face. No, they're not trying to immobilize the neck. They're covering his eyes from the coffee. Is that what you do in that situation? You get some shit burned in your eyes, you cover them?
Wow, things have turned around here in the last hour, haven't they?
It is going to take us a few moments to get the Giant out of the ring. We apologize for that. We do have 2 more matches to go.
Yeah, Giant. I know Nash did hit him with one. I mean, Giant also put on some weight, but Nash just did something wrong there. His hands did not look like they slipped from the coffee. He just fucked it up. I don't know what his side of the story is. I'm hoping that he admits that this is his fault. Nash diving over the top rope is stupid. Kevin Mysterio Jr. over here.
7 feet tall, and then post him right in the sternum into that post. There's Hogan from behind, swinging that chair.
Yeah, Mike, I was watching the night that he debuted. I think it was at the Bash at the Beach. It was the outside match with him and Vader, and it was like the pre-show. It was on TBS, and I was watching that night at home, like summertime, just like I talked about. And this fucker, I just graduated high school, and he comes up and throws Hogan the big shirt. And he's like, remember this? And it's supposed to be like Andre's shirt from The Princess Bride. And Hogan's like, this is Andre's or whatever. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, WCW's bringing everybody in so that they can't, so from the 80s. But since Andre is dead, they can't pay him any money to bring him in. So they're going to create a son. Ugh. Look at this. God damn. I mean, he came back on the back of his neck. Luckily, not on the top of his head. Both are bad, but I think top of the head would have been worse. And would have been instant death.
Luckily got on there, luckily moving okay, and look, they're taking real small steps.
And they have his eyes bandaged.
Yeah, they sure do. Fans, as you know, as we found out earlier tonight, Super Brawl 8 got even...
Man, the South Park shirts, man. South Park was like 1 year old. Less than that, probably.
Wow, a real live tattoo parlor. Oh, I gotta have that one.
It's an original.
Man's gotta have it.
Just like the heavyweight belt.
Yeah, like the belt.
So what do you think? Everybody wants it. You have had it.
Such a weird little skit they filmed. WCW just wasn't good at that stuff. Whatever that was, that Super Bowl, it was kind of funny, but they couldn't produce them in the way WWE could. WWE just had more of a polish to them. And that looked like second-rate 2-bit shit. All right, here comes Ric Flair.
World title in history. 2 men will go in the ring on the 22nd of February to battle for wrestling's ultimate prize, the WCW World Heavyweight Title. Now, speaking of battling, let's go back to David Penton.
Looks like Detroit got a stop there. Here comes Ric Flair. All right, and this is going to be my first look as a fan. This is why I bought the pay-per-view. Was for this match because I had to see Bret Hart's first match in WCW. I'm gonna grab a freshie. Yeah, Luger's in the main. I think it's Luger and Savage in the main event, which is a wild match to me. Okay, so is this Bret's actual music, hopefully, from WCW? Yeah. Just doesn't have the same ring to it, you know? They're calling him a 5-time world champion. They're acknowledging that WWE is a real federation with world championships in it. God, it's just heartbreaking, this image to me. Seeing him. Like, why is he there? I couldn't. It felt like a bad dream. It felt like I'm like, why is he there? Why in the fuck is Bret Hart in WCW? How in the hell did we let something like that happen? And in the worst way, too. Wah, wah. It's such a weird. There was another one, though, after this, right? I think maybe the one after this might be a little better. And they weren't terrible, horrible themes. They just... I think of only one theme when I think of Bret.
Flair said on Nitro, he said, say it again, that you're the best there is, best there was, the best there'll ever be. And Bret Hart looked him right in the eye and said, well,
I mean,
man, I'll have to beat the man.
didn't Jimmy Hart write the Hart Foundation theme? It might have been Jim Johnson, but like hypothetically, if it was Jimmy Hart, why couldn't Jimmy just make a knockoff of it? He did that for the Nasty Boys. The Nasty Boys was essentially the same theme. There was no difference between their theme in WWE and WCW. It was the same. So why couldn't they do that for Bret? Like make it sound something like his older one before the spiced up version, you know? I would have done that if legally allowed. All right, Bret and Flair, wild to see. Bret in Flair's territory now. You know, Flair came into Bret's, you know, in the 92. I mean, Bret was still top of his game here, you know? Bret was still top of his game. And I don't recall I don't know if the announcers are going to mention the fact that Bret beat Flair for his first title or not. And Bobby Heenan was in the middle of that, and he's on commentary now.
Pretty soon, Flair will be comparing records with Wilt Chamberlain. Right? You know, it's an old cliche, but right now you can take all the record books and throw them out the window. You can't deny what Ric Flair has meant to be the World Heavyweight Champion. Bret Hart 5 times, the champion of the World Wrestling Federation, coming into WCW.
If I was a wrestler like Flair or Bret, I would be obsessed with keeping my knee pads pulled up. Isn't there some like adhesive you can get? Okay, thanks, Foxstar Killer. Jimmy Hart and JJ Maguire wrote Bret's theme. So, yeah, that's why I'm wondering that, you know, like WWE obviously owns the Hart Foundation and the Bret Hart theme itself, but you could essentially make a knockoff version. I don't know if WWE's covered there on the copyright stuff or not, if the guy who wrote the song is in the other company now. I feel like they could have made a song pretty similar to at least his old one that fans would somewhat recognize that might have helped him a little bit. We got the figure 4 on Ric Flair early here. I mean, at first, I didn't really see the problem with how Bret was being used. The first match in is with, you know, arguably the greatest of all time. So it might not be for the championship because there's an ongoing story with the title, but at least it's a match that, you know, fans would consider pretty major. Bret Hart and Ric Flair has not happened a lot of times. And happening, you know, again in a different company for the first time in 6 years, I could see, didn't have a problem with Bret's positioning here on the card, but it seemed like he was just immediately after that was mid-card. And that was so weird. I'm like, Bret had that Winged Eagle title on around his waist less than 2 months ago. He probably thought he'd still have it at this point in WWE. And Vince never asked him to leave. I think Bret would have carried the title into 98. He should be WWE champion right now, not in the ring with Ric Flair in WCW. And as a fan, that was what I couldn't stop thinking about.
An assumption on my part, I know, but when he took the one hand off, that gave Hart the added leverage to take him down. So Flair makes a mistake here, but he goes to the ropes, and now Flair's getting hot. Got right back in his face.
Ugh. Jesus. At the time, I remember, watching this match, thinking that the match was just a little more dull and sloppier than their Saskatoon match, because WCW's rings are different too. They're a couple feet, smaller, and they got the cable ropes, and they function differently. And I remember at the time thinking that match was just, not as good as the first one. But now that I'm watching it all these years later, I think I'm going to look at it with much clearer eyes. And so far, everything's been fine. I think Bret and Hennig ended up having a match, right, in WCW. They tried to go through all their SummerSlam spots, but they just didn't land, the way they did in that match.
And a knee into the sternum and right below the rib cage. One thing about Flair, the same thing about Hart. Flair not only can hit you, he knows where to hit you. He knows the pressure points. He knows when there's a back.
Yeah, Bret absolutely would have dropped the title to Stone Cold at WrestleMania, and I would have liked to see that more than the Shawn match, because they had so much history, and that would have been such a big full circle moment after that bloodbath at 13. And now Bret putting over Austin in the main event, it would have been so much better, in my opinion. The Shawn match was fine, and the DX stuff was fine, and Tyson being involved in that was fine, but you could have inserted Tyson in the Bret match too, because that would have made sense. Kenny Shamrock was in the middle of the previous year. You put Tyson in the middle of 14, you could do the whole thing. And I think it would have been enormous. I wish we could fantasy book that or live in that alternate multiverse reality, because that's the story they should have told. And I don't know what, sometimes Vince just decides something, and I've always believed that after Bret and Shawn got in the fight in Hartford and Shawn left, that Vince and him had a secret conversation where Vince said, "I'll get Bret out of here." And that's how he got Shawn to come back. Because after Shawn wanted to leave and go to WCW for unsafe working conditions, next thing you know, he's back and he's working the referee at SummerSlam in a Bret match after they just fought each other. I knew something was up. And then a month later, Bret's asked to leave. And I'm convinced that Vince convinced Shawn to stay. Vince knew he could only have one or the other. Shawn's younger. And so, for the good of his company, he cut Bret's throat. And that was a stupid mistake. For a Bret Hart fan, anyway. Like, if Vince was smart, he would have waited and seen out the WrestleMania 14 match and then got rid of Bret. You can't pay him for 7 more months? You were that broke? But instead, you tell him this while he's champion. Vince is a genius, my ass. Because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you do that? Get the belt off him first. You're talking to a guy with creative control in his contract. Get the belt off of him, then tell him you want him to leave. How hard is that? Vince is a dumbass. He deserved to get punched.
Downstairs goes Ric Flair. Sometimes you have a spasm by your cartilage there in your knee and just cause it a retraction of the reverse by the thumb.
Thank you, Dr. Bobby, for explaining knee biology to us.
A knee. Driven down and one. Flair's got a 2 and
Kick out.
Flair went to make that pinfall attempt.
And Flair with a rear chin lock applied here to Bret Hart. Once again, they're going back to basic wrestling holds here. And once again, it's an effort to show not only each other, but show the fans around the world.
I'm surprised I ordered this pay-per-view, because at the time I still had my small little Magnavox TV. And I was living in kind of a crusty apartment. I was about to upgrade in a few months, but I was still living there. And so I bought the pay-per-view. I was trying to envision myself, because I don't have really too many memories of watching it. I just know that I did because I have the recording of it with the pay-per-view that shows me ordering it. But I don't remember, like, reacting to it, or even if I had people over. I don't remember. I might have just watched it by myself on my hand-me-down couch that I would often sleep on because I had no TV in my bedroom. Yeah, and Bret Goldberg situation that never happened, and Owen Hart never would have died. Lots of things would have been different. If there is a thing in reincarnation, I want to go to that universe next, where Bret doesn't get screwed. Boom. Bret still got the punches, man. Some of these spots are repeat spots from Saskatoon. That's one of them. Oh my God, it's 10-9 now. What a weird score. WWE's on the move, though. Red zone. 3rd and 4. Come on. Get it. Oh, fuck. No first down. They're going to have to kick a field goal. Don't go for it. I mean, they could get a first down here. I think that would be stupid to do it, but they might go for it. Are they sending the field goal unit out, or are they going for it? I feel like they're going for it. They're showing the coordinators there on a split screen. They are going for it. Jesus Christ. It's like 4th and 1 or something, or 4th and an inch. 4th and 2. God damn, and they're on the 8-yard line or 11-yard line. Oh, no. Oh, they're throwing it? Score! Touchdown! 17-9 Detroit. Whew. Okay, Bret Hart and Flair on one screen, Detroit scoring touchdowns on the other screen. It's a roller coaster, man. They went for it on 4th and scored. Hell yeah. Finally, one of those calls worked out. I feel like every time they just put their balls out there, it backfires. All right, sharpshooter on the ring post. And these are weird ring posts to do that on. Look at the shape of that thing. Yeah, Bret just took a bump on the barricade there. 17-9. Detroit's up by 1 full score. If Sean went to WCW, he might have gotten the kick to the head. I don't know. Was it your theory? Who was it last week that said maybe the ring post spot was where Bret did it? And when you watch that, he does whack his head and he sells it. And when he hits his head, you can see it, the grimace on his face. And maybe that's really where it happened. But Bret just blames the kick. I think that's a reasonable theory anyway. May or may not be true, but it ain't on thin air. There's evidence to that. But there's really no way of knowing. There's no way of proving that ever. You can never know now what it was. Or maybe it was a combination of both. Maybe that was the initial blow and then the kick didn't help. Flair is now targeted. Bret's gear. And, you know, I'm pretty sure these are the same exact... These are the Survivor Series trunks. I mean, he's wearing the same shit he had in WWE. This isn't new gear for Bret. This is the same gear. So he would wear the same jacket. A lot of his WWE stuff he'd wear in the ring here. Those boots are definitely ring-worn. Those boots have definitely kicked Sean's face a couple of times. Ugh. Hey, thanks for the like, Samantha the Bomb. Oh, wow, we got a bunch of random likes on some tweet of mine. Oh, okay. Huh. Cool.
Almost beat him with an inside cradle that time. He's got him in 1, 2, and Flair barely. And Hart's man. Hart thought he had the 3 count, but what happened was when Billy Silverman saw the break and saw the legs lift, he stopped the count. But the argument has cost Bret Hart because Flair clipped him. And now Flair's going to be able to put it on, I believe, with ease. And he's in the center of the ring.
Figure 4 again.
Almost got the shoulders down, and he's got to fight the pain. Shut it out. This is what being a big-time player is all about. Bret Hart trying to suck it up, block out the pain. Can he do it against the master here?
Oh. Flair slapping Bret.
And there's no title on the line here. There's just prestige of your own abilities. How you feel about
Yeah, Bret could have wrestled Kurt Angle too. Think of all the possibilities. So much room for activities for Bret.
The title that's on the line in this match could be really summed up in one word: respect.
This match is way better than I remember watching it that night. It wasn't living up to the work I was expecting from Bret, or what I'd come to know. And Flair was old, but, you know, watching it now, this match is fine. These guys are doing fine. Flair still has it in '98, which is crazy, but he does. Still a showman. Oh.
What a memorable matchup.
Mm.
Flair was trying to pick him up. Hit him with a smash. That snapped the neck of Flair back.
Slow to cover.
He's not. He won a sharpshooter there. No, that's why you're not in there. And
That's why you're not in there. Oh, they did this spot in Saskatoon too. This is when Bret won the title. He pulled them straps down and it was over, baby. Flair begs. Get your ass up, Flair. Nope. Headbutt. Boom. Down goes Flair.
Well, the tide is certainly turned towards Bret Hart here. And back and forth, and it's not done yet again. He picks him up, using the tights, executes a backbreaker. 1. Flair kicks out at only 1.
But the backbreaker, that's usually the first thing he does before the sharpshooter.
Okay.
Working on that lower back now.
You know as well as I do, he'd love to put it on, but there's a lot more left in Ric Flair. Here comes Bret Hart to the middle turnbuckle. Bret Hart is up and off and
Oof.
Point of the elbow, caught him in the jaw.
covers Flair 1, 2, and almost. He was using his arms and his upper body, but did not get his entire body across the shoulders with the lateral press, and thus Flair was able to get out of it.
You have to be very careful with Flair.
Oh, I thought he was going for a regular suplex. He's going for a superplex.
Could have been a mistake in what has been so far of basically.
I mean, there's still look. This is a big top rope move for these guys. Huge.
Superplex him in from the top.
Oh boy, fans. buzzing.
Oh, God, that made me nervous. Oh.
What did that for Bret Hart was the extra push he got as Flair was going over. He pushed off with his legs, and Flair hit very hard.
Flair hit very hard. Sharpshooter, middle of the ring.
He's going to try the sharpshooter.
Flair's he's saying yes. Did Bret do this spelling thing with his hands there? That's awesome.
Puts the sharpshooter on Ric Flair and wins. It was
This song is crazy.
here on Sold Out. Bret, you earned this one, buddy. Our hats off to you. On this night, you were the better man.
All right, looks like Minnesota's going for a field goal here. Come on, block it, Detroit. Nope. All right, Bret wins. And his WCW run is officially underway. I mean, I'm glad he got a match with Flair in WCW, and a match that wasn't bad on pay-per-view. It's a good first match for him. I just wish everything that followed that would have been better. I really think Randy Savage and Bret are leaving. Mess me up. That's why I turned out to be the hooligan that I am. Because I was traumatized by the heartbreak of your favorite wrestlers leaving their home. I hate that referees. They do that in WCW. It's my worst, biggest pet peeve in wrestling. The pointing to the hard cam to ring the bell. Yeah, most fans wanted to see Bret slap Hogan around. Instead, he joined the NWO. It's like, come on, man. Oh, did they block that? What happened there? Detroit's got the ball back. Missed field goal. Missed. Yes. Hang in there, Detroit. One more quarter. Don't cough it up. Don't blow it. Tack on another touchdown. Widen the gap. Two men who despise each other. Boy, Randy Savage loved Lex Luger in '93 when he slammed Yoko. They were BFFs for a couple months there. He's made in the USA. Lex Luger, go get him, yeah. Yeah, Buffer, I'm ready for Luger and Savage. You can only be so ready for that. Oh, hey, T. I didn't even see him there. Tito is in frame. Works out perfectly that he hangs out in that little triangle there. That's his spot. God, he looks fat. You look big, Tito. You look big, buddy. Look at Elizabeth. Jesus. Macho Man and Elizabeth in WCW following a Bret Hart match. That is like crazy to me and was to me. The fact that Elizabeth was with Macho again. I don't think I was appreciating it at the time. I think I was just flabbergasted that none of this was happening in WWE. And everybody was so different now. And Elizabeth was different. She had a different attitude. She was different physically.
Probably the most dangerous man in the whole sports world. I would have been the most dangerous man on earth. I wouldn't want him on my hockey team. I mean, for goodness.
And here comes Lex Luger out to the WWF hotline music, which always cracks me up. Call now to hear the Jim Ross and the Ross Report, as we talk about a whole bunch of stupid shit that you're paying $2 for.
Representing WCW, wearing black and white, weighing 261 pounds. He comes from the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. He is a man who has established himself as one of professional wrestling's premier stars.
Why the hell is this match the main event? Why wasn't Bret and Flair the main event? Jesus Christ, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is odd, isn't it? This is awkward with these three. When did Elizabeth get with Lex? Were they together yet? Or did that come a little later?
Let me say one thing about what we have just seen. What Ric Flair gave us, to me, erases the foul memory of what
It is just bizarre to me that, you know, we always hear stories about how protective Savage was over Liz and the fact that they're no longer together. And I think she was married to somebody else there, and they're on screen together as a pairing again. I'm like, was he mentally okay with all of that? Or was that driving him absolutely nuts? Or had he put all that behind him? Oh, wow, Elizabeth hit Luger there. Elizabeth, the fact that she was like sucker punching people was crazy back then. When Liz never did anything. Mike Witt, thanks for the 5. Still wish Vince would have let Owen out of his contract so he'd go down south with Bret. Yeah, but look what Bulldog and Neidhart did. And look at what Bret did. I mean, if Bret was a mid-carder, think about what Owen would have been. I think arguably, as crazy as it sounds, Owen's spot was still bigger in WWE. Even though nothing really elevated him. He got a brief little program with Shawn that never really materialized. And then he was back to like European title status the rest of the time. But at least he had status, and at least he was doing stuff. And at least he did things that were memorable. He had, you know, attraction matches with, you know, UFC fighters. And he joined the Nation. And he was hilariously parodied by DX, you know, where in WCW, what would he even been doing? He'd be like doing what Rick Martell was doing. Like TV matches with Booker T and shit. That's it. I hated seeing Bulldog there too. It was weird seeing him go back to WCW.
He had with Bischoff, how Bischoff wouldn't let him wrestle again, and how he finally came back in.
But I mean, essentially could have had the entire, if Owen would have been allowed to go there, you could have put the entire Hart Foundation faction together in WCW. And a lot of fans preferred Hart Foundation over the NWO, and then you could do that war, but WCW and the backstage politics would never let that happen. I think Hogan and Nash and those guys are going to put over, you know, the Hart Foundation? No. Hi, Elizabeth. Jesus. Get back here. Chill out, Bobby. None of y'all can have Elizabeth. She belongs to me. Or I shouldn't say that. Nobody should belong to anybody. But I got dibs.
Luger and Savage have hit such an issue. Issue that has been running, that has been going through the hearts of WCW.
TD Lions. Yeah. Nice. Oh, did he miss that? No, he got in. 24-9. Full quarter left, but I'm feeling pretty good. This is where, if you want to be a champion, this is where you can't let up. Like, this is where you can't fuck it up. You know, now you're at home with so much on the line. You're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter. You fuck this up, you ain't a champion. So, Lions have to win. Don't. Oh. Luger had Elizabeth by the hair there. Jesus. Elizabeth's doing a lot of work out there in heels. I have the utmost respect for women who are able to walk around in those things. Not only walk, but do things. Like run around in them and stuff. My ankles would be broke. Oh, and she slaps Luger. Oh my God, Tony Schiavone, are you? Do I have this right, Schiavone? You're bad-mouthing Elizabeth? Are my ears deceiving me? I hold grudges. Oh, that fan, he doesn't have a Green Bay head. He's got a 6 head, a 6 ball. Maybe supporting 6, who was about to leave WCW. Yeah, Owen joining the NWO would have been probably fitting. They could have made a story out of that. Owen going over there and then, you know, rekindling the rivalry with his brother and joining the NWO. And Bret would consider that, you know, the ultimate betrayal. And that could have maybe been interesting, to be honest. Yeah, Mike Witt, thank you guys. Yep, and We Are Pro Wrestling. Time to sweep the leg. No mercy.
This man in too many battles. I've seen him take too much beating. He's still standing. That means he still can hurt you. Luger, pop up. Luger, this is one of his patented maneuvers.
Yeah, I don't know if Davey Boy's life would have been extended had he not gone to WCW and had that back injury and had all those problems. He might have lived a bit longer. He died incredibly young. And I think a lot of that was influenced by what happened to him with the trapdoor. Here comes Scott Hall. And Hogan. Prelude to the rack. Oh no. Oh, and the torture rack. Oh man, that's gonna be the finish, isn't it? He won in like 8 minutes. And Hogan jumps in, attacking Luger. Elizabeth attending to Savage. Here comes Buff, Conan, Nash. Are they all joining in? But he's being swarmed. Who's coming out? Sting. Taking them all out. Sting comes out to make the save. He's going to stand tall here with Luger. Oh, wow. We got Diesel, Made in USA. Torture Rack and Diesel. And this sharpshooter and the shitty sharpshooter on Hogan. They're both tapping out. Luger wins. Him and Sting stand tall, representing WCW. And as we celebrate the WCW victory, let's listen to the WWF hotline music. Ooh, Minnesota on the move. Oh, almost a sack. Threw it away. 4th down. Flag, though. Shit. Fans are throwing bottles. Look out. It's Dayton. Funny. Well, that was not bad. There was a lot of good matches on that show. Got a Rick Martell match. We got Rey and Jericho. Bret Hart's first match in the company. A lot of good stuff on that. That was worth watching, I think. I think that was a good way to start out 2025. And next week, we will start Royal Rumble. So I think I might do either a combo platter next week. Maybe we'll watch 2 Rumble matches back-to-back, like 88 and 89. Or maybe our favorite ones, 01 or 92 back-to-back. Or something like that. Something like that. We will see. Can we stick around to finish this game? Oh, man, 11 minutes left. No, I got to get out of here. I mean, I'm going to keep my eye on it, though, but I've got things to do and a whole bunch of shit to do. So I got a busy rest of the night ahead of me. But thank you guys for being here. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Don't worry. Go over to the channel right now, top of the page, latest content. I'll throw the Netflix Raw up there at the top so you can save that. And join us tomorrow night for what's going to be a pretty, I guess, history-making night on Netflix. We'll go live maybe 10 minutes early tomorrow night before Raw goes on the air, and we'll watch that together. It should be a hoot. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to watch the rest of this game. Hopefully, well, Minnesota did convert there. It's 1st and 10. Hopefully, Detroit can hang on and win this game and set themselves up in good position in the playoffs to hopefully take them to a title. That's what I'm hoping. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I will see you tomorrow night. Hit that thumbs up button, too, by the way, on the way out, if you don't mind. And I'll be catching y'all tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Take care. Peace.